My beloved child, stop. Be still. Do not scroll past this moment, for this is not a coincidence of the algorithm, nor is it a random occurrence in your day. I have guided your hand, I have arrested your attention, and I have paused the world around you for this singular purpose. You have found this message because I have heard the cry of your spirit. I know that you are tired, not merely the tiredness that sleep can cure, but a deep, resonating weariness that has settled into the marrow of your bones. You are carrying the heavy accumulated weight of 2025 when you have been searching for a place to lay it down. You have been looking for a sign that the storm is ending. This is that sign. This is the divine stop I have ordained for you. I saw you this year. I saw the moments when you smiled to the world while your heart was breaking inside. I saw the nights you stared at the ceiling, wondering if you had missed your way, wondering if I had forgotten the promises I whispered to you in seasons past. I saw the silent tears you wiped away before anyone could notice, and I heard the prayers you were too exhausted to speak aloud. You have felt like you were fighting a battle that had no end, facing invisible winds that pushed you back every time you tried to step forward. You have felt not just physical exhaustion, but spiritual depletion. You have poured out so much for others, for your family, for your work, that you feel there is nothing left in your own vessel. But hear me now, I did not bring you this far to leave you empty. You are not behind, my precious one. You are being built. You are not breaking. You are becoming. The confusion you felt in 2025 was not an absence of my presence. It was the cloud of transformation. Much like the caterpillar must dissolve completely before it can be reassembled into a creature of flight, you have been in a hidden season of restructuring. I know it felt like loss. I know it felt like stagnation. But I tell you now, as your Father who loves you with an everlasting love, that nothing you went through in 2025 was wasted. Not one tear, not one betrayal, not one moment of waiting. I have gathered every fragment of your struggle, and I am preparing to use it as the foundation for the palace I am building in your 2026. This is not just a video you are watching. This is an altar we are building together. This is a threshold. Tonight, right now, in this holy pause, we are drawing a line in the sand. We are closing the spiritual door on the chaos, the lack, and the confusion of the past year. As it is written in Psalm 92. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. To number your days is not to count them with fear, but to value the lesson in every season. We are acknowledging that the season of survival is ending, and the season of revival is beginning. I am preparing to download a new blueprint into your spirit. But first, you must be willing to stop running and sit at my feet. I need you to be present with me now. The enemy of your soul wants you distracted, anxious, and rushing into the next year, carrying the baggage of the last. But I am calling you to rest. Before I reveal the blessing coming to you, before I show you the 3 stones you must lay down, and the 7-day plan I have prepared for your victory, I need you to declare your presence in this sanctuary. I need you to step out of the shadows of doubt and stand in the light of my love. If you are ready to release the weight of 2025 and receive the shift I have ordained for 2026, do not stay silent. This is your act of faith, your digital altar. Type, "I am here, Lord," or 7007 in the comments right now to open the gates of heaven over your life. By doing this, you are telling the spiritual realm that you are awake, you are listening, and you are ready to receive. Do not worry about how the restoration will happen. Do not worry about the resources you do not yet see. Tonight, you will name your 2025. You will lay down the stones of your burden, and I will give you a strategy that will carry you through the first 7 days of your new beginning. The shift begins the moment you stop trying to control the storm and start trusting the one who walks on water. I am here. We are doing this together. Breathe, my child. The new season starts now. This moment we share right now is fragile, my child. It is not fragile because I am weak, for I am the rock of ages. But it is fragile because the distractions of your world are like a howling wind trying to extinguish a small flame. I want you to treat these next few minutes like a candle you have lit in the center of a dark room. You must cup your hands around it. You must protect it. You must refuse to let the winds of worry, the notifications on your phone, or the demands of others blow it out. If you protect this flame, if you stay here with me, this light will grow until it illuminates the path out of your wilderness. You are used to rushing. You are used to consuming information as if it were fast food, eating quickly and moving on, yet remaining spiritually hungry. But you cannot rush a transformation. You cannot speed read a miracle. I am asking you to make a covenant with me for the duration of this message. A covenant is a promise, a sacred agreement. Promise me and promise your own soul that you will not click away, that you will not multitask, that you will not let the enemy steal this seed before it has time to take root in the soil of your heart. If you keep the candle lit, if you stay present, your mind will finally stop running and your spirit will start hearing. You have stood at the door of change many times before, only to turn back because the process felt too slow or the silence felt too heavy. But this time is different. You are standing at a threshold, much like a watchman waiting for the dawn. The night has been long, I know. 2025 felt like a night that would never end. But the dawn is breaking, and I need you to be awake to see it. I need you to be still enough to feel the shift in the atmosphere. Before we lay the first stone of your burden down, I want you to engage your physical body in this spiritual act. Anxiety often lives in the chest, a tightness that tells you to run or fight. I want you to place one hand over your heart right now. Feel its rhythm. That beat is my gift to you. It is the echo of my life within you. With your hand on your heart, take a deep breath in, hold it, and release it slowly. As you breathe out, I want you to whisper this promise to yourself. I will not rush my healing. Say it again. I will not rush my healing. By doing this, you are signaling to your nervous system and your spirit that you are safe here with me. You are stepping out of the chaos of time and into the peace of eternity. You are preparing the ground. In a moment, I am going to ask you to do something difficult but necessary. I am going to ask you to choose one single word to define your 2025. Just one word. It may seem simple, but that one word will act as a key exposing exactly what I have been building in the secret places of your life. Keep your hand on your heart. Keep the candle lit. We are moving forward. My child, truth is the beginning of freedom. You cannot heal what you refuse to acknowledge, and you cannot defeat an enemy you refuse to name. For too long, you have been carrying a nameless weight, a heavy fog that you have tried to ignore or smile through. But tonight, in this safe space we have created, I want you to be brave. I want you to look back at the landscape of the last 12 months, at the valleys, the storms, and the long, dry deserts, and I want you to capture it all in a single word. I ask you now to condense 365 days of struggle, growth, and tears into one single word. Do not overthink it. Let your spirit speak. What is the name of your 2025? Is your word survival? If so, I saw you. I saw you treading water for months, feeling as though one more wave would take you under. You felt that you were not living, merely existing, waking up every day just to fight the same battles again. You were exhausted from being strong, exhausted from holding everything together for everyone else, while you felt like you were unraveling inside. You were surviving, yes, but your soul was gasping for air. Or perhaps your word is betrayal. I know the sting of that word. I saw the moment the knife entered your back, not from an enemy, but from someone you allowed at your table. I saw the shock, the disbelief, and the cold realization that the person you trusted did not value your heart. You questioned your own judgment. You wondered if you were foolish for loving so deeply. But I tell you, your ability to love is not a weakness. It is your resemblance to me. Maybe your word is silence. You prayed, you fasted, you cried out, and the heavens seemed like brass. You felt isolated, as if I had withdrawn my hand. You walked through a season where you had to trust in the dark what I had shown you in the light. Or is it loss, the empty chair, the table, the bank account that drained away the dream that seemed to die? I saw you grieving in the quiet moments when the world demanded you move on. Whatever word has risen to the surface of your heart, hold it gently. Do not judge it. Do not feel guilty for it. That word is not your identity. It is merely the description of the battleground you have just crossed. By naming it, you are taking dominion over it. You are telling that season, I see you, but you do not own me. The word you choose is the door to what I am about to heal tonight. We have identified the wound. Now we prepare the medicine. Now we move to the altar. I want you to imagine you are holding a heavy, rough stone in your hand. Feel its weight. Feel its cold, sharp edges pressing against your palm. This is the first stone, the stone of loss. I know this stone is the heaviest of all. 2025 took things from you that you were not ready to give up. For some of you, it was the loss of money resources you worked hard for that seemed to vanish overnight, leaving you scrambling to make ends meet. For others, it was the loss of people friends who walked away, family members who passed into eternity, or relationships that crumbled under the weight of misunderstanding. I saw the emptiness you felt when you looked at your bank account and the panic that tried to grip your throat in the middle of the night. I saw the hollow space in your heart where a loved one used to be. You have grieved, and you have asked me why you have felt that this loss was a punishment, a sign that you failed or that I abandoned you. But hear me clearly, loss is not always a subtraction. Often it is a clearing. A farmer must clear the field of the old harvest, the dead stalks, and the rocks before he can plant the new seed. You are not desolate. You are being prepared for a new planting. Consider my daughter Ruth. She did not just lose a little. She lost everything. She lost her husband, her security, her home, and her future in Moab. She walked into Bethlehem with nothing in her hands, a foreigner and a widow carrying the bitterness of her mother-in-law. It looked like the end of her life. To the world, she was a woman defined by what she had lost. But I was writing a different story. The loss of what was familiar was the only way to move her to the place where she would meet Boaz. If Ruth had not lost her first life, she never would have birthed the lineage that led to David and eventually to the Savior of the world. Her greatest destiny was hidden on the other side of her greatest loss. What felt like death was actually a divine repositioning. You are in your Bethlehem moment. The loss you endured in 2025 was the breaking of the old container so that you could be positioned for a legacy you cannot yet see. Psalm 34:18 says, "The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit." I have not been distant during your loss. I have been closer than your very breath. I have been gathering your tears. I have been holding you when you thought you were falling. Do not worship the pain of what is gone. Do not build a monument to what you lost. It is time to lay this stone down. You cannot receive what is in my hand for 2026 if your hands are still clutching the ashes of 2025. Release it to me. Let me turn your mourning into dancing. Let me turn your loss into a legacy. Lay the stone down. The second stone you are holding is not just heavy, it burns. This is the stone of shame, the heavy rock of regret. I see how you carry this one differently. You hide it in your pocket, afraid that if anyone sees it, they will know the truth about your imperfections. This stone is formed from the words, I should have known better, I should have done more, I messed up. I saw the nights you lay awake in 2025, replaying conversations in your head, dissecting your decisions, and tormenting yourself with the what-ifs. You have looked at your mistakes and allowed them to label you. You have whispered to yourself that you are not enough, that you have disqualified yourself from my blessings because of your stumbling. But listen to my voice. Your mistake is an event. It is not your identity. You are not what you did. You are who I say you are. Do you remember my servant Peter? He walked on water, yet he also sank. He declared I was the Messiah, yet in the moment of greatest pressure he denied knowing me not once, but 3 times. Imagine the shame that crushed him as the rooster crowed. He felt he had destroyed his destiny. He thought he was finished, unworthy to even stand among the disciples. He went back to fishing, believing his time as an apostle was over. But I did not see a failure. I saw a leader in the making. I did not define Peter by his worst night. I went to him on the shore, not to shame him, but to restore him. I asked him, "Do you love me?" And I handed him the keys to my kingdom. The very man who stumbled was the one I chose to build my church upon. Why? Because a man who knows the depth of forgiveness knows the height of grace. Your failures in 2025 were not the end of your story. They were the lessons that deepened your character. I allowed you to see your weakness so you would learn to lean solely on my strength. You cannot walk into 2026 looking backward. You cannot drive forward while staring into the rearview mirror. It is time to break the agreement you have made with guilt. As it is written in 2 Corinthians 5:17, therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone. The new is here. I am not consulting your past to determine your future. I have washed you clean. The debt is paid. The mistake is covered. Do not hold on to what I have already thrown into the sea of forgetfulness. Drop the stone of shame. Let it hit the ground. You are forgiven. Walk in that truth. The third stone you must lay down is one you might not even recognize as a burden. Yet carrying it, unacknowledged, weighs down your spirit. This is the stone of unseen victories. You are so quick to count your losses, my child, yet you are so slow to acknowledge your wins. You look at 2025 and see the goals you missed, the prayers that seemed unanswered, and the progress that felt too slow. You judge yourself by the world's standards of success, money, recognition, speed. But I judge by the heart, and I tell you this: you won battles this year that no one else saw, and those are the greatest victories of all. I saw the moment you wanted to scream in anger, but you chose silence. That was a victory. I saw the moment you had every right to be bitter, to seek revenge, or to gossip about those who hurt you, but you chose to forgive and walk away. That was a triumph. I saw the mornings you wanted to stay in bed and give up, but you got up, washed your face, and faced the day anyway. You kept your peace when you were justified to lose it. You kept believing when the evidence said to quit. To you, these felt like survival. To me, they were demonstrations of a maturing faith. You think you were just getting by, but I say you were building spiritual muscle. Consider young David. Long before he stood before the giant Goliath in the valley, he was alone in the wilderness with the sheep. There were no crowds to cheer for him. There was no king to reward him. When he fought the lion and the bear to protect the flock, nobody saw it. It was a hidden season. It was lonely, dangerous, and thankless. But it was in those unseen moments that I was training his hands for war. If he had not defeated the lion in secret, he would not have had the faith to defeat the giant in public. His obscurity was his training ground. Your 2025 was your shepherd's field. The loneliness you felt, the repetitive battles you fought, the lack of applause, this was not punishment. This was preparation. I was training you to rely on me when no one was watching. I was teaching you that your character is more valuable than your reputation. Zechariah 4:10 asks, "Who dares despise the day of small things? Do not look down on the small wins of this past year. They are the credentials for your next assignment. You are stronger than you realize. The victories you think were insignificant are actually the proof that you are ready for the weight of the blessing I am about to release in 2026. Lay down the need for validation. You have mine, and that is enough. You have asked me the hardest question of all in 2025. Lord, why are you silent? I know this pain well. It is a specific kind of agony to cry out to the one you love and hear only the echo of your own voice. You have interpreted my silence as distance. You have interpreted the lack of immediate change as a lack of my power. You have wondered if you committed some secret sin that turned my face away from you. You have stood in the middle of your storm, waiting for the thunder of my voice to split the sky. And when the sky remained gray and quiet, you felt your faith begin to tremble. But listen closely, my child. My silence is not abandonment. It is trust. When a teacher gives a student a test, the teacher remains silent. The teacher does not speak, not because he is absent, but because he knows the student has already been taught the lesson. I have been silent because I was watching you apply what I have placed inside you. I was watching you stand when you wanted to collapse. I was watching you choose faith when your feelings were screaming fear. My silence was not a sign of my absence. It was a sign that I believe in the strength I have built within you. I was not ignoring you. I was observing you much like a proud father watches his child take their first steps, hands ready to catch, but holding back so you could learn to walk. Consider my servant Joseph. I gave him a dream of greatness, a vision of ruling and reigning. But immediately after the dream, he was thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, and locked in a dungeon for years. In that prison, the silence was deafening. Day after day, year after year, he sat in darkness. He did nothing wrong. In fact, he did everything right, yet he was punished. He could have grown bitter. He could have cursed the dream. But Joseph used the silence to sharpen his gift. He ministered to others in the prison, even while his own prayers seemed unanswered. What Joseph did not know, and what you must understand now, is that the silence was the transition chamber. I was not just preparing a place for Joseph in the palace. I was preparing Joseph for the place. If I had brought him to Pharaoh too soon, he would have been crushed by the weight of the authority. The silence was the kiln where his character was hardened into something unbreakable. The delay was not a denial. It was divine positioning. While Joseph was waiting in the dark, I was working in the light, arranging the political landscape of Egypt to be ready for him. The moment he stepped out, everything was ready. Your silence in 2025 has been your prison season, but it is also the womb of your promotion. Malachi 3:3 declares, "He will sit as a refiner and purifier of silver." Do you know how a silversmith works? He holds the silver in the hottest part of the fire to burn away the impurities. He does not leave the silver there alone. He sits right beside it. He watches it intently. He knows the process is complete only when he can see his own reflection in the metal. The heat you have felt, the silence that has surrounded you, it was the refiner's fire. I have been holding you in the heat, not to destroy you, but to purify you, to burn away the fear, the doubt, and the reliance on worldly things. I have been waiting until I can see my reflection in you. And now, my child, I see it. You are coming out of the fire, not as ash, but as gold. The silence is breaking. You have wept over closed doors in 2025. I saw you standing before opportunities that you were certain were meant for you, only to watch them slam shut in your face. You prayed for that job, that relationship, that loan, that house. When the answer was no, you felt rejected. You felt that you were not good enough, or that I was withholding good things from you. But I want to open your spiritual eyes to see the truth. Rejection is often divine protection. I blocked that relationship not to break your heart, but to save your life. I heard conversations they had when you were not in the room. I saw the toxicity that would have poisoned your spirit years down the road. I blocked that job opportunity not to keep you poor, but because I knew the stress would have destroyed your health and stolen your time with me. You were crying over a closed door, but I was locking it to keep the enemy out. I was not keeping you from a blessing. I was keeping you from a trap. Scripture says in Psalm 37:23, "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord." But hear this: the stops of a good man are also ordered by the Lord. When I stop you, it is because the bridge ahead is out. When I redirect you, it is because there is an ambush on the path you chose. You must stop grieving the things I removed. You must stop trying to pry open doors that I have sealed for your safety. If you could see the future as I do, you would not be crying over what you lost. You would be thanking me for what I saved you from. I am asking you now to trust my protection over your own understanding. It takes a mature faith to thank God for a no. It takes deep trust to praise Him for the door that did not open. If you believe that I have been your shield, even when it hurt, I invite you to press the like button on this video. Let it be a digital act of agreement. Let it say, "Lord, I trust your no as much as I trust your yes." You are standing at your Jordan River. Behind you is the wilderness of lessons. Before you is the land of promise. But you cannot cross over carrying the bitterness of the past. You cannot enter the new land holding on to the receipts of old offenses. I have explained the pain, I have validated your struggle, and I have shown you my protection. Now we must perform the final act of release before I give you the blueprint for 2026. I am going to show you how to burn the receipts. My child, we have arrived at the most critical moment of your deliverance. You have named the year you have laid down the stones, and you have understood my silence. But there is one thing left in your pocket. You are still carrying the receipts. You are walking around with a mental ledger of every person who wronged you, every debt that went unpaid, every harsh word spoken against you, and every time life treated you unfairly. You have kept these receipts as proof. You hold them close, waiting for the day you can cash them in and finally get the justice you deserve. You want them to apologize. You want them to admit they were wrong. You want the score to be settled. But I tell you this with the ferocity of a protective father. These receipts are not assets. They are anchors. As long as you are waiting for someone else to make it right, you are tied to them. You are chained to the past by the very grievances you refuse to let go of. You think that by holding on to your anger, you are punishing them, but in truth, you are only poisoning yourself. Unforgiveness is like drinking deadly poison and waiting for your enemy to die. It blocks the flow of my anointing. It clogs the spiritual arteries of your heart. You cannot enter the spacious place of 2026 while you are cramped in the prison of offense. I am asking you to do something radical tonight. I am asking you to take out that ledger and burn it. I am asking you to cancel the debts, not because they paid you back, but because I paid it all for you on the cross. When you forgive, you are not saying that what they did was acceptable. You are saying that you trust me enough to be your vindicator. As Romans 12:19 says, "Vengeance is mine, I will repay." When you try to exact your own justice, you tie my hands. But when you release it, when you burn the receipt, you hand the case over to the supreme judge of the universe. And I know how to settle accounts far better than you do. I want you to speak this out in the sanctuary of your heart or whisper it aloud right now. Picture the face of the person who hurt you the most in 2025. See them clearly. Now say these words, I release you. Feel the chains loosen. Picture the money you lost, the promotion you were denied. Say, I release the debt. And finally, and perhaps most importantly, picture yourself, your mistakes, your shortcomings, the times you fell short. Look at yourself with my eyes of compassion and say, I release myself. You are not that person anymore. The debt is canceled. The receipt is ash. Isaiah 43:18-19 commands you, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. I cannot put the new thing into your hands if your fists are clenched tight around the old wreckage. By burning the receipts, you are creating a vacuum, a wholly empty space that I am eager to fill. The smoke of your past is clearing and the air is changing. You are lighter now. You are no longer a victim of 2025. You are free to be the victor of 2026. You have emptied out the negative. Now prepare your spirit, for I am about to pour in the new blueprint. My beloved child, take a deep breath. Do you feel that that is the feeling of weightlessness? That is the sensation of a soul that has finally put down its burden. You have cleared the debris. You have washed the slate clean. Now we stand at the very edge of the new year, and I need you to understand exactly what is about to happen. You are not just turning a page on a calendar. You are stepping into a completely different spiritual dimension. 2026 will not be a repetition of 2025. The cycle of almost but not quite is broken. The cycle of one step forward, two steps back is destroyed. I am declaring a new word over your life for this coming year. It is a word that will define your mornings and guard your nights. That word is alignment. In 2025, you spent so much energy trying to make things happen. You forced doors, you chased people, you hustled until you were empty, trying to manufacture a blessing. But in 2026, you will not chase. You will attract. Alignment means that you are positioned in the center of my will. And because you are in position, the blessings will come to find you. You will not have to hunt for resources. I will command ravens to feed you. You will not have to beg for favor. I will cause kings to lose sleep until they bless you. This shift will feel different than what you are used to. You are used to the noise of battle, the adrenaline of survival mode. But true alignment is quiet. It is the sound of a key sliding perfectly into a lock, a soft click, and then the door opens. You will find that the things which used to be difficult will suddenly become easy. The relationships that used to drain you will fall away, replaced by connections that feed your spirit. This is not magic. This is the physics of the kingdom. When you are aligned with me, you flow with the current of my grace, not against it. Do not mistake this quietness for inactivity. In the quiet, I am doing my deepest work. I am aligning your character with your calling. I am aligning your mindset with your destiny. I am aligning your circle with your purpose. You are entering a season where you will accomplish more by resting in me than you ever did by running on your own. The struggle is over. The shift has begun. Walk into it with your head high. To sustain this new alignment, you cannot build upon the fragile emotions of the moment. Emotions are like the waves of the sea. They rise and fall. They crash and recede. You cannot build a castle on water. For the palace of 2026 to stand, it must be supported by structures that are unshakable. I am not just giving you a prophecy today. I am giving you an architecture. I am installing 3 divine pillars into your spirit. These pillars will hold up the weight of the blessing I am sending, ensuring that when the overflow comes, you will not collapse under it. The first pillar I am establishing in you is peace. But this is not the peace the world gives, which depends on everything going right. This is my peace, the shalom of heaven. As I promised in John 14:27, peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. In 2025, your peace was stolen by circumstances. When the bank account was low, you panicked. When the report was bad, you crumbled. You allowed your internal state to be dictated by your external reality. But in 2026, this pillar will anchor you. My peace will be a guard around your heart. It will be the calm in the center of the storm. When chaos swirls around you, you will stand in a supernatural stillness, knowing that I am in control. This peace is your power. It confuses the enemy. When you should be falling apart, but you are praising instead, you are demonstrating the authority of my kingdom. The second pillar is wisdom. You have spent too much time relying on your own intellect, trying to figure out solutions with a limited mind. You have calculated, planned, and worried only to hit dead ends. But I am offering you a direct connection to the mind of Christ. James 1:5 says, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." Wisdom is not just knowledge. It is divine strategy. In 2026, I will not just give you resources. I will give you the idea that creates the resources. I will give you the insight to know when to speak and when to be silent, when to invest and when to save, when to run and when to wait. One drop of my wisdom is worth more than an ocean of human effort. Stop trying to outsmart your problems and start asking me for the solution. I have the blueprint. Ask, and I will download it to you. The third pillar is strength. I am not speaking of the brute force of the flesh which tires and fades. I am speaking of the resilience of the Spirit. Joshua 1:9 commands, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." The blessings coming in 2026 are heavy. They carry the weight of glory. If I gave them to you before you were strong enough, they would crush you. That is why you went through the training of 2025. I was building your capacity. I was strengthening your spiritual back so you could carry the mantle of influence I am placing upon you. This pillar of strength will allow you to endure the waiting, to withstand the pressure, and to hold your ground when others are retreating. You are not fragile. You are fortified by the very power that raised Christ from the dead. Receive these pillars now. Close your eyes and visualize them being set into the bedrock of your soul. Peace to guard you, wisdom to guide you, strength to uphold you. With these three, you are unbreakable. You are ready to receive the promises. My child, because you have stayed with me, because you have burned the receipts of your pain and accepted my pillars of strength, I am now entering into a new covenant with you. A promise from a person is only as good as their ability to keep it, and humans are frail. But a promise from me is covenant truth. When I speak, my word does not return void. It accomplishes what I send it to do. I am not speaking empty comfort. I am speaking creative power into your life. Receive these three promises now. Let them settle deep into your spirit, for they are the guarantee of your victory in 2026. I promise you regarding your past, I will heal your memory. I know that even though you have chosen to forgive, the memories still carry a sting. You still flinch when you think of the betrayal. You still feel the phantom pain of the loss. But I promise you, a day is coming very soon when you will look back at 2025 and feel nothing but peace. I am extracting the poison from the wound. I am rewriting the narrative of your history. You will tell the story of this past year, not as a victim who survived, but as a student who graduated. I will restore the years the locusts have eaten, not just in quantity, but in quality. The shame is gone. The regret is washed away. Your past is no longer a prison. It is a testimony. I promise you, regarding your present, I will strengthen your hands. I know you are tired of working hard with little to show for it. I know the frustration of toiling all night and catching nothing. But I promise you, in this new season, I am anointing your hands for overflow. You will no longer work for approval. You will work from a place of favor. I will bring resources to you that you did not ask for. I will open networks that you did not seek. I am removing the spirit of struggle from your home. You will not just survive. You will be supplied. When you wake up each morning, you will feel a new vitality, a fresh wind in your sails. I am turning your grind into grace. I promise you, regarding your future, I will secure your path. I know you look ahead and see fog. I know you fear the unknown, worrying about the stability of the world, the economy, and your family's safety. But I promise you, I have already gone ahead of you into 2026. I have already cleared the road. I have stationed angels at the crossroads of your destiny. You do not need to know the whole plan. You only need to know the one who holds the plan. I will not let your foot slip. If you stumble, I will catch you. If you get lost, I will find you. Your future is not a place of fear. It is a prepared place of blessing. I am your vanguard and your rearguard. You are safe in my will. Faith without works is dead, my child. I have given you the vision, the healing, and the promises. But now you must build the vessel to hold them. You cannot ask for a harvest while refusing to plow the field. You cannot ask for a new life while living in the old patterns. I am giving you a specific 7-day assignment. This is not a burden. It is a key. It is the practical application of the spiritual shift we have just established. By following this plan, you are physically acting out your faith, signaling to the heavens that you are ready to receive. Do not despise these small beginnings, for they are the seeds of your great future. On day 1, I call you to radical gratitude. This is the foundation. Before you ask me for a single thing, you must thank me for what is already in your hand. The enemy wants you to focus on what is missing. I want you to focus on what remains. Find 3 things, no matter how small, and speak your thanks aloud. Thank me for the breath in your lungs, for it is my gift of life. Thank me for the roof over your head, for it is my shelter. Gratitude is the magnet for miracles. On day 2, you must establish divine order. Confusion cannot dwell where there is order. I want you to clean one area of your physical space, a drawer, a corner, a room. As you throw away the physical trash, imagine you are throwing away the clutter of your mind. As you organize your home, you are preparing your environment to host my presence. You are saying, Lord, I am making room for you. On day 3, you will practice intentional sowing. You cannot reap if you do not sow. This does not always mean money. Sow a seed of kindness. Send a message of encouragement to someone who is struggling. Buy a meal for a stranger. When you give, you break the spirit of lack. You declare that you trust me to be your source. On day 4, I call you to a fast of negativity. For 24 hours, refuse to speak a single negative word. Refuse to complain. Refuse to gossip. Refuse to consume news that breeds fear. If you cannot say something that brings life, choose the holy discipline of silence. Guard your ear gate and your mouth gate, for they are the entry points to your soul. On day 5, you will step into prophetic declaration. Your words are containers of power. Stand before a mirror, look into your own eyes, the eyes I created, and speak the promises I gave you in chapter 12. Say, I am the head and not the tail. I am blessed and highly favored. My 2026 is a year of overflow. Do not just think it. Speak it until your own ears hear it and your spirit believes it. On day 6, you will perform the seal of forgiveness. The enemy will try to bring back the old memories to test you. On this day, pray for the person who hurt you. You do not have to call them, but you must pray for them. Bless them. This is how you slam the door on the past forever. Finally, on day 7, you will enter into sacred rest. This is not laziness. This is the highest form of trust. On the 7th day, I rested not because I was tired, but because the work was finished. I want you to take this day to cease from your striving. Stop worrying. Stop planning. Just be. Worship me not for what I can do, but for who I am. Listen to music that elevates your spirit. Read my word. By resting, you are declaring, Lord, I trust you to handle what I cannot carry. This 7-day cycle is your runway. Walk it faithfully and watch how the atmosphere around you shifts from desperation to destiny. My child, we have done the work. We have inspected the foundations, removed the rubble, and set the pillars. Now I must place a covering over you. In the spiritual realm, a blessing that is not sealed is a blessing that can be stolen. The enemy waits for the moment you leave the sanctuary to try and snatch the seed before it grows. But tonight, we are placing a divine seal upon your life that no demon, no circumstance, and no person can break. I want you to bow your head where you are, or simply close your eyes and receive this prayer as a canopy of protection over your 2026. Father, in the name that is above every name, I cover this precious child with the shadow of my wings. I plead the blood of the eternal covenant over their mind, their body, their spirit, and their household. I declare that the trauma of 2025 stops here. It will not cross the threshold into the new year. I sever every generational curse, every spoken word of failure, and every assignment of the enemy against their destiny. I declare that their home is a no-fly zone for anxiety and fear. Angels of the Lord, take your positions at the 4 corners of their house. Guard their sleep so they may rest in perfect peace. Guard their waking so they may walk in divine purpose. I seal their mind with the helmet of salvation. No weapon formed against their mental health shall prosper. I command the spirit of heaviness to flee and be replaced by the oil of joy. I seal their resources with the promise of provision. I rebuke the devourer for their sake. I declare that 2026 will be a year of net-breaking abundance, not for their glory, but for the advancement of your kingdom. I seal their relationships. Remove those who are distractions and bring those who are destiny helpers. Let them walk in discernment, seeing with your eyes and hearing with your ears. As it is written in Psalm 121:8, the Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. I decree this over you right now. When you go out, you are blessed. When you come in, you are blessed. You are protected from the unseen arrow and the snare of the fowler. You are hidden in me. I lock this blessing in the vault of heaven. It is secure. It is finished. Receive it now with a spirit of thanksgiving. We are at the final threshold. In ancient times, when my people experienced a great deliverance, they would raise a stone and call it Ebenezer, saying, "Thus far, the Lord has helped us." They did this so they would never forget. They did this so that when they passed that spot years later, they would remember that I was faithful. Tonight, this video is your Ebenezer. The words you have heard are not just sound waves. They are spirit and life. But a covenant requires 2 parties. I have spoken my promises to you. Now you must speak your agreement to me. You must set your seal upon this moment so the enemy cannot steal it once the screen goes dark. I am asking you to make a public declaration of your faith. Do not be ashamed of me before men, and I will not be ashamed of you before my Father. If you believe that 2025 is closed and 2026 is the year of your divine shift, I want you to type 3 words in the comments below. These 3 words are the same words my son spoke on the cross when the price was fully paid. Type, "It is done." By typing this, you are driving a stake into the ground. You are saying, the struggle is finished. The old cycle is broken. The new era has begun. Or if your heart is too full for words, simply type, "Amen," which means, so be it. Let the comment section become a river of faith, thousands of voices agreeing together. When you see others typing, know that you are not alone. You are part of a vast army of believers rising from the ashes. Seal it now. It is done. My beloved, our time together tonight is ending. But our walk together is just beginning. You are not meant to navigate the mysteries of 2026 alone. The path I have prepared for you is glorious, but it is also narrow, and there will be days when you need a reminder of who you are. The enemy loves to isolate my children, for a sheep alone is vulnerable to the wolf. But a sheep in the flock under the shepherd's watch is safe. Do not walk into 2026 as an orphan. You were created for family. You were created for community. I invite you now to join this digital sanctuary permanently. By subscribing to this channel, you are not just following a creator. You are positioning yourself to receive daily manna. You are choosing to keep your ear tuned to my frequency. I have many more messages to share with you, secrets about the coming year that I cannot reveal tonight, because you are not yet ready to bear them. There is a specific door opening for you in a coming message very soon, a hidden opportunity that will require precise instruction. I want to be able to find you when that time comes. So press the subscribe button now. Consider it your act of staying connected to the source. Turn on the notification bell so you do not miss the trumpet call when I speak again. Go now in peace. Sleep tonight with the assurance that the war is over. The receipts are burned. The pillars are set. The dawn is coming. I love you with an everlasting love. I am with you always.